All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another Outlast recap. I am Alex.
And I'm Hannah.
And we're recapping episode 9 of Outlast.
Yes,
I just screwed myself is the title of this episode.
That he did.
That he did. It would seem. It actually hasn't borne fruit of a screwing of oneself to this point. We'll see if it does. His perception was that he screwed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is I say this every week, but this was a fun episode. I thought the level of chaos and deception at Camp Before Tribal was really, really high. I think this was the
I think it was an all-time high.
I think so too. And you kind of get the feeling as they're leaving Tribal, they're like...
Everybody kind of feels bad.
Like, oh, this was bad.
Yeah.
We did a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
So let's not bury the lead here. Jack becomes the second member of the jury, was voted out by a unanimous vote. You get the feeling that he kind of knew it going into Tribal, which is interesting because earlier on he feels totally fine. So he probably came privy to some information that he didn't have when he gave that confessional. And we'll talk through that as we get through the episode. Hannah, what was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, this one's so hard. I really don't know. Maybe the wink. The wink.
Yeah, I know. I was going through footage, and when I saw that, I was like, I literally went, yes, let's go. It's so fun.
Yeah, when Jenna, like, in case you missed it, whenever, it was Will and Jenna, right?
Yeah.
They were talking, and afterward, they, like, are walking away, and Jenna, like, looks at the camera and winks, like, super, like, I don't know.
Devious.
Like, yes, it's devious.
She is playing the most, like, cutthroat strategic game of anyone, and it's really fun to watch.
She's really fun to watch.
Yep.
The girls in this game just...
I know! The girls are strategically a lot better for the most part, or at least more aggressive, strategically aggressive.
It's true.
Yeah, a fun episode. Let's start at the beginning. This is one of my favorite challenges. Did you say this was your favorite?
This was definitely my favorite challenge. Yeah. I tried this one so many times before. And, like, this was the one I was probably best at. Like, just standing there the longest and, like, balancing. Yeah. And so it was so fun for me. I would do it for, like, ever. I tried it a ton. It's
definitely top 3 for me. I think my favorite was the one right after the swap with the blindfold and the balls, and then you have to throw it on the arch. I just love the arch.
I hate that thing. I actually passionately hate it.
I love that one. And there's one, it's Final 6, that challenge. I won't spoil what it is, but that one's really fun too.
Wait, have we done the basket one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah, that was, I think, the second one.
The one where they, like, use the trampolines. That was fun.
Lydia wins this immunity challenge. It's her first individual win, or her first anything win, actually.
Yeah, it really is. She says that in the interview, that it's her first win of immunity at all.
And she really, like gritted that one out. Like, you can see on her face, even, like, before the end, that she's, like, hurting. You know, she's, like, grimacing, like, clenching her teeth. And she really, like, mentally... like, willpowers through that. It was really impressive to watch.
Yeah. It takes arm strength. Like, your arms start to burn toward the end. But, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking, she and Will were talking, I think, afterwards, like, in the reward about it. And she was like, yeah, we, like, did that for cheer conditioning. Just, like, holding things in the air for a long time.
Which makes sense, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did really great. It was really impressive to watch. There were a lot of different strategies that people were employing in that challenge. You had Will and Jake who kind of, like, rested it on their back shoulder, which was legal as long as their hands are above their shoulders and they're only touching the, like, cloth part. Jenna, like, had it, like, way out in front of her. Ben had it on his head. I
think Jenna also was the only one who did it overhand. Like, everybody else held it underhand. And I think she had it overhand, which was, like, interesting. Because I feel like that would be harder. I don't know. Personally.
Lydia, like, it seemed like hers would be the most taxing. She just held it like this the whole time.
But honestly, that's kind of easier. Like, I think when I was first doing it, that's the way I was doing it. And eventually I found out, Ben's holding on his head. That's easier. But
it's tougher to balance that way, I think.
It is tougher to balance. And I could do it for longer because my balance was, like, steadier. And, like, just having your arms, I think, up that high. I don't know. It felt like it helped me instead of, like, resting it in an awkwardly, like, low position.
This was based off of Survivor challenges. All of our challenges are. But they, in their, like, behind the scenes. It was from last season. It's based off of like audio, like boom holders. So, you know, the people like behind the scenes and productions who have the like long boom poles with the mics on them. It was like based off of that like technique, you know, which I thought was pretty fun and interesting.
That is interesting.
It feels like when you see like the amount of effort that Lydia gives in that challenge and like the relief when she wins, like I feel like she is playing with her back against the wall and like therefore the hardest of anyone at this point. Like she is really hustling. Yeah. And like you can see it in the like the emotion of when she wins and how hard she was trying in that challenge. Like, no discredit to anyone else, but she, I think, far and away is putting the most effort into this game right now.
And you see it in the episode how she becomes more strategic and she's really thinking through everything. Yeah. And granted, she tells Jake about the note.
What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know what I think. But I mean, it worked. Like it was fine. I mean, we don't really see anything else, but I mean, nothing happens necessarily with it. So I mean, I guess
hasn't been found at this point, but
also nobody even else knows she has a note,
right?
As we know of, like we don't see that anybody else knows. So, I mean, I guess it's fine. But it is interesting that she decided to tell him. I mean, why? I don't know.
I wanted to talk about that. There's this big scene between Lydia and Jake where there's like crucial information passed both ways. So like Jake tells her about the fake totem that he has given Jack, which Lydia didn't know about to that point because she was on the other tribe. And we assume, or like it's to this point, like Jack and Lydia have voted together in the last couple tribals. And then Lydia gives the crucial information to Jake that she has this clue to a totem. And it makes me wonder, like, I think that they have a stronger alliance than most of the people recognize or think at that point. Even Jack, who considers himself to be like a part of a three-way alliance with those two, it's pretty clear that they're withholding information from him, and those two are more
and tight. To be able to share that information with one another, I mean, they better be on the same team because they could take one another out of the game.
It's a big way to like establish trust too, you know? It's indicative of their alliance, and it also probably furthers it with the sharing of that information. Because
now they know, I mean, they both know that about one another, so.
And I think that I don't know, it seems like the other people in the game don't recognize that they're that close alliance-wise, you know? And that can be dangerous, too, to those other people that when, it's like with Jack, or with Jake and Will and Jenna, it's clear to everyone, like, the level of closeness of their alliance. But to kind of have a secret alliance,
which is kind of what you were talking about before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably beneficial to have it more secretive instead of everybody knowing, like Jake and Will and Jenna.
Right.
So.
What did you think about Lydia's choices to take on the reward with her? She picked Chloe and Will.
Chloe, I could kind of see. Chloe's like kind of on the fence with where she stands with everything. So I definitely saw Chloe. I mean, because that's a good way to kind of try to get her to side more with you when she's on the fence. Will was a shock. I think it was a spur of the moment choice for one, because I mean, obviously they were both, but she didn't know she was going to get another person. And so she's like, oh my gosh, who do I choose? And she picked Will. And I guess maybe it'd be a way to kind of get on Will's good side because he is such a strong player. But also kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was thinking through what the ideal choices would be there. I think Chloe is a good pick for the reasons you spelled out. And then I wonder if for the similar reasons, like Jake would be good, Chuddy, because they do have a close alliance, but like they weren't on the same page last vote. They didn't vote together. Jake voted against Tess. Lydia voted with Tess. So that could have been a way to shore things back up. But it seems like they do that anyway, so maybe that wasn't necessary. Yeah, I think you're right that Will's was maybe kind of a panic pick, you know?
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing, we talked about it a little bit, but the biggest downfall for Jack at this point was that and you see it in the confessional, he thought pretty clearly that there were two divisions. You know, there was Jake, Will, Jenna, and there was himself, Lydia, Chuddy, and then with Ben and Chloe kind of in the middle. In reality, it was a lot more fluid than that. You know, it wasn't so hard and fast. These three versus these three. They've got to swing the middle.
It was kind of everybody together except for him.
It was kind of everyone together. Yeah, and you saw that like those people who didn't vote together previously voted together. This time, I think the alliances weren't so concrete as maybe he thought. And you even saw the people that he thought he was closely aligned with, and Chuddy and Lydia were a part of that group that kind of hatched the plan. Like, okay, let's convince Ben we're voting for him, but actually vote for Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was just not on the same page with the people that he thought he was.
He was not, which was a big bummer for him.
Yeah.
But, and like we were, I guess, I mean, now might be a good time to bring up what I was talking about earlier, too.
Yeah.
There were so many other choices, like with the hidden immunity idol and like doing that to Jack. And I was telling Alex earlier, like, if they would have just maybe had thought to convince Ben that they were giving it to Jack for the reason they gave it to Jack.
Yeah, to vote him out.
Yep. Then, I mean, Ben was clearly convinced. They could have just all voted for Ben. And then that would have, the hidden immunity idol, like fake one, would have still played an important role.
Right.
But they wouldn't have been like screwing over Jack and Jake. In the process. So, I don't know. And then they could have gotten Ben out like they wanted.
Right.
Which, I mean, you know, good for you, Ben. I'm
I'm
happy for you, but at the same time, that could have been smart to, like,
totally.
I don't know, kind of switch that instead of, as we see, throw kind of both Jack and Jake under the bus.
Would be like taking that fake totem and take, like, to the next level. Like, level 1 is use it to convince someone they're safe and vote them out. Level 2, that I hadn't thought about until you brought it up, is use it to convince someone else that they're safe so that someone else thinks that they're safe and you vote that person out. It's like a...
Yeah, and then Ben...
And it would have been really cool.
Yeah. And he doesn't use his totem, and it's out of the game, you know? And so they don't have to worry about Ben or the totem. But...
Would have been cool. Worth mentioning, though, too, that, like, Ben, again, did the right thing and didn't play his totem, which maybe can get lost in the shuffle. Like... They were trying to make him think that he was vulnerable, and he saw through it and saw that he would be okay and didn't play it, which is huge. Every week you have that totem, especially deeper and deeper in the game, that gets more and more powerful the longer you're in the game, because now there's a greater and greater chance that you would get voted out at any time. Your chances of using it successfully are higher.
I know. But you know what? If you're watching... You're playing a good game.
Ben, honestly, the fact that he's survived to this point and held on to that idol successfully is really great.
He's played a great game. So good job.
Yep.
If he happens to be watching.
Yeah. Who knows?
Let's
talk about the fake totem and then we'll wrap up. I hope that this came through in the episode. It was tough since it's been a couple episodes since Jake got that, and we didn't actually see the handover, but we got the video of it happening.
Yeah.
Jake gives Jack the fake totem.
Such a strong lie, too. Wow.
It was a powerful lie.
I would have believed you, Jake.
Yeah.
I really would've.
I think he said, like, I found it in the woods. I even asked Gertch if it was real.
Yeah.
And he said it was.
Yeah.
So he did. It was a great lie.
It was.
But, yeah, he gives it to Jack to hopefully, so Jack thinks that he's safe and plays it, doesn't attempt to scramble to get out from under the vote. But then we see him have... Like, when he's telling Hooten and Ben about it, that he gave it to him, Ben kind of is casually like, oh, dude, like, when he finds out that's fake, he's gonna, like, not vote for you in the end. Which makes Jake totally rethink this decision, be like, dude, I shouldn't have done that. I screwed myself. And what I suspect happened, it's not on screen, so not officially canon, but I'm pretty sure that Jake told Jack the truth of it before... they got to tribal.
Yeah, like maybe when they were walking down. Because even in his interview, his exit interview, Jack says, like, that toward the end, the only one he could really trust was Jake.
Yeah.
And so I think that was kind of giving us the clue that Jake had told him.
Yeah. So either way, at that point, like, Jack was kind of hosed. The hope was, for them, was that he would play the thing and, like, mitigate any effect that... feeling like he was hosed would have caused him to scramble. In reality, he just kind of like, I don't know, gave up the fight, I think, realizing that he was, so.
Yeah. And I think he probably found out the fake totem information so late.
I think it was, yeah,
it was probably really right before they went to tribal, and so he was so like, I mean, he was just thrown off right then. You know,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think there was a minor rule breaking by them talking on the way down to tribal and sharing that information. But really the big question going into the vote, or after the vote even, was who's going to play their totems. Is Jack going to play his fake totem and think that he's going to be safe because of it? And is Ben going to play his real totem when he maybe doesn't even have to, you know?
Yeah.
And again, the answer was no one played anything.
Nope.
As fun as it would have been for Jack to play that fake totem, and they still had the desired result with it, minus Ben playing his totem, which would have been the
which was that was the real thing I think they wanted.
So too, yeah.
Was that Ben would waste his, but
I think so too.
Well.
I think Ben finding out that Jake told Ben, we gave him the fake totem, that cemented in Ben's mind, oh, I'm fine. I don't need to play this.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to go for him. So,
yeah.
Last thing I just wanted to mention, this was a chance to take Will out because he was free of immunity. And no one even thought about it.
Yeah.
You know, I think those three, again, Will, Jake, and Jenna, even if the other, what is it, 5 at this point?
Mm-hmm. I think 5.
Could get together and say, dude, here's our chance. Let's break that up.
Vote Will out,
yeah. But they have such, they're trusted by people and they're seen as, leaders and directors of things that it didn't even cross their mind.
And with the fake totem thing, I think everybody was just so focused on using it. Mm-hmm. I think it did more harm than it did good in a lot of ways because I don't think it was the wisest decision to even maybe use it at all in this situation. But I think because they had it, they were thinking, oh, we need to use it. We need to take advantage of this. Yeah. And in reality, it was they could have used it, but it might have been smarter to just get Will out, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, one of the rare chances where numbers would have made it possible and he was vulnerable. Mm-hmm. They could have really switched the game up and done that. But things kind of, as much chaos as there was, if you go into this episode not knowing anything that's going to happen, and ask the question, okay, who is most likely to go home? I would put Jack and Ben at the top of that list, you know, and that's
what happened.
Who the targets were. So anything we missed?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Yeah. So their update on idols and advantages, Chuddy still has that reward steal. The fake totem was in Jack's possession when he left the game, so that's out of the game. Mm-hmm.
Ben still has his.
His totem.
Lydia has the clue.
Lydia has
looking
the clue.
for one.
Yep.
Jake knows about it.
And that's where we're at. Yep. So one advantage has left the game.
One advantage.
But the potential of another has entered. So
yes.
Next episode is episode 10.
Wow.
There are a total of 13 episodes, so we're almost done. Which is so fun. It's so sad, but it's so exciting too.
I know. I'm excited for everybody to know everything, you know, to actually be able to talk about what happened.
And I know we've said this from the beginning, but truly, the next few episodes are great. And the best stuff of the season, I think. Mm-hmm. For as much fun and as compelling as stuff has been so far.
It's been great, yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the way, there's... Yeah.
A lot of action.
The biggest moments of the season are yet to come. We'll say
that's, I think, the way this type of show always goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gets better because the numbers are smaller and there's more drama. So.
Yep. The stakes get higher.
Exciting.
Yep. Cool. Well, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our next episode. We'll see you then.
See you then.
Bye.